Book deals were on hold pending the election results. It wasn't public knowledge, but that was what the Whisper Network was saying. And why is that if books aren't political? This week, 2 of my students reminded me of a paper I did back in 2022 where I was researching the top 100 agents in YA fiction and the authors who self-identified as of Asian descent. I used deals reported on Publishers Marketplace and the Lee and Low Diversity Baseline Survey to comparatively see if Asians were being more represented in the publishing space. In the political climate today, I just want to talk to you about why the Lee and Low Diversity Baseline Survey even exists and why it is important to read it. Before 2015, people suspected there was a diversity problem in publishing, but they didn't have hard numbers. Their goal was to look at publishing houses and review journals regarding race, gender, sexual identity, and ability makeup of their employees and gather concrete evidence about the diversity of the publishing workspace. Because if the people who work in publishing are not a diverse group, then how can diverse voices truly be represented in books? This came out in 2015 the first time, and they said 79% of the people who responded were white, 78% women, 88% were straight, and 92% were non-disabled. Did those numbers get better in 2023? Here is the overall industry result, where we were at 79% white before we are at 72%. The overall industry in 2023 is 71% cis women, 68% are straight, 83% are non-disabled. This is the majority of people working in the industry in some way. They are making the decisions. They are writing the books. They are selling the things. Let's take a look at the actual books sold. You can see I'm on sales, and 76.8% of the books sold are white. Of all the books sold, 5.4% are Black. Only 5% are Asian, or Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, South Asian, Southeast Indian. They combined it all of us and still only got 5%. 4.7% Latino, Hispanic, Mexican. How many people are Hispanic in the U.S.? 64.99 million as of 2022, and only 4.7% are represented in books. I was feeling really good the other day about being included in a Filipino workshop. There were like 14, maybe 16 of us, and I knew the majority of them and got to know the others in that workshop, and I felt so good belonging. And then I realized there's not that many of us, and that is why I know them, and that is why I'm included in those spaces. There's not that many of us. In book sales, 69.1% are cis women, 22.5% are cis men, 4.4% chose not to disclose, but only 1.9% are non-binary. Only 1% is gender queer, gender expansive. Only 1% are trans men, 1% trans women, 1% two-spirit. Most of the books coming out are heterosexual, straight. Only 11.6% are bisexual, 4.1% gay, 2.8% asexual, demisexual, 2.5% lesbian, and 1% not lesbian. I feel like this category 85% non-disabled, only 14.2% disabled. Most of the books that you are being fed are not representative of the community. Publishers were waiting to make book deals until after the election results because they knew that the election results would influence the cultural, political, and social climate. Now you might be saying, well, then we have a problem in trad space, but we don't have a problem in indie spaces. Yeah, we do. Because you are influenced by TradPub's marketing dollars. You are influenced to believe that TradPub are the top tier of books and that indie is a lesser tier of books. That it is something you read to help indies out, but not because you prefer it. So let's talk influence, because your favorite book reviewers have been surveyed by the Lee and Low Diversity Baseline Survey. The people telling you which books to love and read are 76.6% white. Only 5.8% are Asian. Only 5.8% are Black. Only 2% are Hispanic, Latino, Mexican. Only 1% Middle Eastern, North African, Arab American. Only 1% American Indian, Alaskan Native, First Nation, Native American. 69.5% are cis women. Only 2.5% are genderqueer, gender expansive. Only 1% trans. Only 4.8% non-binary. 64% are straight heterosexual. Only 16% are bisexual or pansexual. Only 6.1% are asexual, demisexual. Only 3.3% gay, 3.2% lesbian. Only 73.8% are non-disabled. These are the people reading all of our books, trad and indie. They're not representative of the majority of the community, and the people who are, their content doesn't get pushed out. The algorithm doesn't like a face like mine, and sure as hell I'm going to get 200 views on this video. But for the 200 people who do see this, I hope that you can understand what we are saying when we say we don't have the space. It is political. We are fighting for every decimal. Every decimal, on a decimal level, we are fighting for space. And we are not given it. And it is not improving. Everyone wants to keep acting like it's improving. It's really not. When something is this bad, a decimal or two feels like a win, that's bad. And when election results like that come in, there is no hope for even decimals.